I'm Nikki Champion. I'm a forecaster for the Salt Lake, Provo, and Ogden Area Mountains. I'm joined by Dave Kelly, also a forecaster for those zones. So Dave, you forecasted the last 2 days. You've been changing the persistent weak layer rows and a little bit of the wording going on with that. Tell us about it and why you did.
Yeah, Nikki, it's been a long conversation, and it wasn't just a decision that I came to on my own. As forecasters, we've spent a lot of time discussing the persistent weak layer, and we're not necessarily saying that the persistent weak layer is gone as much as that it's dormant right now, and we're not seeing avalanches on it within that Salt Lake, Ogden, Provo zone. And so what I started to do was remove that layer from the northwest through north through east facing terrain at the lower elevations because the snow pits were starting to show us that there's plenty of snow on the ground, and then any facets we were finding were rounding.
Awesome. And yeah, for all those same reasons. So I'm forecasting the next 2 days. And as a team, we've decided that we're going to drop the persistent weak layer as a listed avalanche problem altogether. Does that mean the persistent weak grains are gone? No, we know that if we shovel down to the ground, we're still going to find facets there. But over the last few months, we've been tracking them. We've been tracking the snow depths. We've been tracking the snow temperatures, and we've been seeing those grains move in a positive direction. We've been seeing those facets round. We've been seeing less propagation in pits. We've been seeing avalanche activity, human triggered, especially on the decrease. Natural avalanche activity primarily happening during the peak of large loading events, like last week's Gobbler's Knob incident. And overall, we've just got really impressive snow depths. So in the upper Cottonwoods, we've got anywhere between 2 to 4 meters of snow sitting on those grains. So are we saying the persistent weak layer is gone? No, but we're saying that the likelihood of triggering an avalanche on those persistent grains or seeing an avalanche on those persistent grains right now is very low, and so low that we feel comfortable dropping it as a listed problem. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that, Nikki. I think that's a great way to sum it up. And I think the big closer on it is that the persistent weak layer is no longer a problem at the present time, but it could come back if we were to have a very large storm cycle, or if someone were to find a place with a very thin, steep area. I mean, I think about very steep zones like the Northwest couloir on the Pfeiffer Horn or the Dresden Face or other areas that just don't have as much snow, where you still might find those persistent weak layer grains on the ground.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree with that as well. So again, you're likely not going to see that persistent weak layer listed in the forecast starting tomorrow. We're not saying those persistent weak grains are gone. We're just saying for now they're dormant. We're likely to not see an avalanche on it, but if something changes, we might bring that problem back.